We got Sam Shade Carter
coming up right now. Hello, everybody. This is Derek, and with me today is the only man who can squeeze slug juice out and make backcountry protein shakes for everyone in the group, Carl Mandrioli, keeping us healthy on the trail. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
You're so gross. Welcome to the Backpack Militias podcast. With me today is Derek Somerville. He's a man that thinks the easiest mountain to climb is the one that's always idle. Mount Everest.
Oh, geez. That was maybe top 10 worst right there. I thought you were going to say the biggest mountain to climb was like the staircase by my house or something.
You don't even go up staircases. You only walk flats.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Just flats.
Like
no
Costco
uphills.
doesn't have stairs. What are you talking about?
My calves thank me every day, and my Achilles do too.
Sometimes on those like little parking lot islands, you ever kind of walk across the rocks just to get a little bit of mix up with the terrain?
I do. It's really gambling though, really gambling it there.
Okay. All right. We have a guest on today.
We got a stud.
Yeah, he's 21 years old. I don't want to give away any part of his story because the story is unique and it's amazing and it's impressive. Maybe it might bother you. I don't know. There might be a variety of reactions here, but his name is Sam Carter. He goes by Shade is his trail name.
Shade.
And yeah, so it's all about a 3-pound base weight is kind of the main part of the story. We'll get to that. So yeah, base weight. We're talking base weight, my friend.
Base weight.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your base weight?
My heart. It says it right there.
Okay. You've got no idea what your base weight is, do you?
No, I don't think I've actually calculated it in a while.
Yeah.
Probably need to.
So you're suggesting that you actually have calculated it?
I did before. Yeah.
Okay.
Long ago.
All right.
But I've changed gear, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I probably need to.
Do you know what my base weight is?
More than mine. What is yours, like 12?
No, I call my base weight I don't care. I don't care what my base weight is because it doesn't matter what your base weight is in the end. It matters what your total weight is. And so many people overpack consumables. They could have a base weight that's like 10 pounds lighter than me and still their pack's heavier than mine because they're overpacking their consumables.
We've seen this happen.
I know.
Many of
so
our
I don't
trips.
care. I care what my total weight is, my friend.
And I am proud that we are usually the two lowest members of the group weight-wise.
Right.
I'm proud of that.
Right.
Take pride in it. So
that being said,
this guy crushes it all. So we're gonna learn about this guy.
That being said, I will say if I was a thru hiker going on these long trails like Sam was doing with the the Continental Divide Trail, Appalachian Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, I would highly care about my base weight because your total weight is constantly fluctuating with resupplies and this and that. So it doesn't. So my thought doesn't directly relate to his story, but just generally speaking, for your 4 or 5 day backpacking trip, I want to know total weight, folks.
Total.
Yeah.
Total.
Did you speaking of that? Did you know that we put out like a YouTube short and like an Instagram reel with our pack weigh-in from our Banff trip? Did you know that?
Did you finally put it out? I think I
put
was
out,
second.
I put out last month, actually.
I think I got beat that trip for the lightest, didn't I?
You did. Well, the scale glitched out, and so your first pack weigh-in was 0.4 pounds. So you didn't.
Oh, so I won
that one. Yeah,
0.4. Nice.
Correct. But we got a ton of hits, dude. We actually got some crazy reactions. I mean, how do you react negatively to that video? Here's a pack weigh-in. Like, how do you react negatively?
People just want to troll.
They
just like to troll.
Or weird ones. Yeah. So we got people that were telling us that the Marines are better because they pack more and they're in the heat in Afghanistan. And I was like, we're not Marines. We're not going to battle, but we respect Marines and we appreciate their service, but it's not the same kind of trip. So we got
If I was trained as a Marine, I'd probably pack like a Marine.
Yeah. We got the hunters who were like, that ain't nothing. We pack out 100 pounds of elk or whatever it is that they pack out.
Right.
I didn't say it, but honestly, so like the hunter guy that comes on our trip, his name's Eric. He did awesome last year, but he's not he's a guy that can pack out the 100 pounds, but he's not typically the fastest guy on our trip. So I don't know that directly correlates. And then, we just got people telling us about, I don't know. It was just, I
mean, trollers alert. Like, look at Carl's arms and he knows, but like, come on. He's got to have a light pack, guys. He's got to have a light pack. So
thank you. Anyway, all right. That I just thought it was interesting. Okay, but let's get to it, man. So we got a Bible verse for the episode is Proverbs 27:12. The prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. are you somebody who tends to run towards or embrace danger?
I don't know if I run towards it. Or
Okay. Burning building, somebody stuck inside. You're like,
well, you're
let
talking
somebody
like
else handle
that.
Any,
you're talking like
anything,
that.
any dangerous scenario.
Well, some, yes. Like if somebody's in need or in trouble, which this has happened to me before, then yeah, I'll run in,
Okay.
or run over to help. But if it's like something like, hey, there's a raging fire in the forest, and there's like a little, I don't know. I think there's a limit. You know,
Okay.
are you gonna go try and save the 2,000-pound moose?
What do you mean?
Or no?
In the forest?
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
Okay.
but if it's like a person, if you're there and maybe like, a log has fallen across your leg and you're like, help, help. And then I have to determine, I'm going to put my life at risk to help Derek and use my superhuman strength to lift the log off his leg. I'm going to do it, my friend.
Let's be honest. I'm dying. If you got to lift a log, I'm dying.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and I'll die with you. How about that?
Fair enough. Just get something with leverage and pop it up. We'll be good.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of processing time during that session right there.
Well, you're pretty cool under pressure. You know?
I don't think I'm as cool as you. I'm pretty good, but I'm not. Yeah. I think if I had to pick somebody like, hey, there's an intense situation, life or death, who do you want helping you? Assuming you know what you're doing. It's not like some sort of like medical weird thing.
True. I missed this interview because of a pressure situation.
You did.
And we had some hospital stuff going on, to leave it at that. But
you made the right decision, right?
Yeah. I was under the pressure cooker for sure. So definitely bummed I missed this guy. He's got a great story. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Well, let's do it.
And just to clarify, so Derek was at the hospital with his kids, who one of his kids was struggling medically. This is a place you're very familiar. You go to the emergency room, from my perspective, a lot. Correct?
She's a cat with 9 lives.
Yeah.
She's probably used up all 9. Okay. And then some. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Right. I'm glad it's all good now, right? We're good.
She's good now. She's at home. She's recuperating, but yeah.
All right. So because you missed this one, I actually called in reinforcements last minute. I got Tupperware Mike to step in on the interview. Cool. And so we got Tupperware Mike. We got Sam Shade Carter coming up. Here we go. All right. With us today, we've got Sam Shade Carter. He's a man that was born after 9/11, after the Lord of the Rings trilogy was released. And he also has perhaps the lowest base weight of all time. How's it going, man?
Going great. I'm having a great day in my hometown, and no bugs biting me, and I'm sleeping on a bed tonight.
Where's your hometown, Sam?
Yeah. I'm from Carlsbad. Carlsbad's a great town. I grew up here, went to school here, and it's a local surf town in San Diego.
Right. California. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And Sam is 21 years old, and he's making waves in the backpacking community already. He's had an article in Backpacker magazine, not Backpacking magazine, but Backpacker. Apparently, it's still alive online. The hard copies are out of there, but making waves. And so we want to hear your story. And with us today, we also have Tupperware Mike. He's pinch hitting for Derek as another interviewer. So, Mike, how's it going with you, man?
Good, Carl. I'm glad to be on the show again, and it's good to meet you, Sam. I'm looking forward to hearing your story. It sounds really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So first question I got for you. All right. So what's the plan? So you want to hike long trails. Give us the overview. What's going on? What's your plan here, Sam?
My plan is to complete the Triple Crown, which was my dream since the age of 13.
Okay.
I was out there to hike the calendar year Triple Crown.
Right.
And I started that on Groundhog's Day, February 2nd, 2023.
Okay, so about a year ago, a little more than a year ago. So you started it, and so you had to finish it by Groundhog's Day 2024 this year.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And some would say the cutoff is the calendar year, so you have to start in, say, January and have to finish by December. And others would question whether the terminology warrants a full year or just the calendar. However, the challenge of the weather was the biggest hurdle in the way of a calendar year Triple Crown.
Right. Okay.
Wow, that's
trying to strategize for sure. So you said that you wanted this since you were a kid. So where did you first hear about this, or where did this kind of come to you?
This came to me when I was 13, watching a presentation about the Pacific Crest Trail.
Okay.
The hiker named Barrel Roll hiked all 3 of the trails over 5 years and did multiple presentations. I went to each of them, and that made me want to do the Triple Crown. He mentioned in one of his presentations, less people had done the calendar year Triple Crown than had been on the moon at the time.
Right.
And that was a fire that had lit under me, and I could not rest until I completed my Triple Crown. And my calendar year Triple Crown happened after I saw Quadzilla going out there and pushing big miles on the Appalachian Trail.
Okay.
I was watching it in early January, and later that month did I know I'd be resigning and sending my ticket to Georgia, getting a ticket to Georgia so I could hike the Appalachian Trail and then follow that up with the Continental and Pacific Crest trails.
Okay. Quadzilla is like a famous YouTuber out there who does a lot of through hiking. And so you mentioned you went to presentations. What, like, are we talking about like at school, or are you talking about at REI, or where are you talking about here?
At a local backpacking outfitter in San Diego and near Carlsbad.
Okay. Wow.
So at 13 years old, you got this fire in you. Did you grow up in a family that was outdoorsy? How did this all start?
Yes. Growing up, I did outdoor weekend trips with my dad, car camping. And in my teenage years, I grew up with my dad. We were doing outdoor adventures like through the Sierra Club. Our adventures were the Wilderness Basics course. We would do weekend outings such as a snow, mountain, or desert backpack. And that is when I fell in love with backpacking with my dad. So we set out in 2021 to do the Sierras together.
Okay. Cool, man. All right. That's good dad there, inspiring that. I wish my kids wanted more backpacking personally.
I feel like all good outdoor stories or adventures like this, it all starts with, some kind of a memory like that. Like for me, it was my brother taking me out backpacking for the first time, or other people, it's like you, it's their dads. You just have this nostalgic memories that really start these fires inside of you.
Do you think that other people, Mike, are telling stories like my first time backpacking was with a guy named Tupperware Mike? And that's their story is like you're the key, like the linchpin, so to speak.
I made it exciting for him. I lit that fire for him. I'm sure there is. I bet you there's 90% of the listeners right now are thinking back to what lit their fire into
who got them going for sure.
Yep.
Sure. And 80% of them is probably this podcast, right?
Exactly. You and Derek. Yep. That's it.
Okay, so here's the reason why your story is so interesting is you decided to do this ultra super duper ultralight 3-pound base weight, right?
Correct.
Okay, so tell us about this. Where did the idea come from, and then like what's the 3 pounds?
The idea came from continuous improvement over time in 10 months of living outdoors and doing the calendar year Triple Crown.
Okay.
I was able to get my base weight down once the weather got warmer, and I figured out which gear I used. And what was in my pack was the most interesting. I had the Sawyer Squeeze to filter my water, and I carried a Garmin InReach Mini for safety. The most important thing was that was a backup, and what I stored in my head and on my phone was maps and data and trail conditions and weather, and I would look at that constantly until I lost my battery pack in Washington.
Wait. You said you stored it in your head, so you're memorizing trail routes?
Yes, like a living gut hook app or living far out. So in my 3-pound base weight, which was my section of Oregon and Washington on the Pacific Crest Trail. So I hiked from the Canadian border to the Northern California, and that was where I had a 3-pound base weight, 2.67 pounds. I had a Sawyer
less than 3 pounds.
Correct. I had a Sawyer Squeeze, a Garmin InReach Mini 2, a Nightcore NU headlamp, a Nightcore NU2 headlamp with a USB-C charging port.
Okay.
I had a bivvy and a $20 Amazon pack.
But the bivvy was like one of those emergency bivvies, right?
An emergency survival
like crinkly space blankety kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
No sleeping bag, no quilt. No sleeping bag or quilt.
So no quilt, no sleeping pad, nothing, none of that.
Okay.
Wow.
That is crazy, man.
So-
And I know, okay, so like sleep wise, assuming conditions were fine, you actually slept okay.
Yes, the first 3 days I did not,
Okay.
but I started sleeping better. Yeah, I
Fatigue.
eventually getting upwards of 7 hours of sleep a night towards
Wow.
California
It's not
and
that much
latter
for
half of
hiking.
Oregon. Yeah, right.
So
For
you're
like
going
10 plus hours of it in bed, I would get 7 hours of sleep.
Okay.
But a lot of shivering at night and having to walk when it gets cold. I would carry a headlamp in my pack, a charger brick, and some cables as well. A headlamp, charger brick, and some cables.
So your strategy was, okay, I'm freezing. This is not like safe freezing. So I'm just gonna get up and start walking.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it was too cold, I couldn't sleep like below 45. Like if it was like past 4 a.m., I'd probably be walking because it'd be too cold.
wow.
So a lot of night hiking, a lot of sleeping in like daytime naps to catch up on a few extra hours when it's all nice and warm.
Yeah.
You just stretch out.
Did you ever
That's
have people like
crazy. So-
interrupt you, like you're like just kind of crashed out under a tree, and people are like, "Hey, man, are you okay?"
Yes, I remember in Washington, some people asking if I was all right. I was having a little nap.
Okay. You're like,
Wow.
not anymore.
So
Yeah, exactly.
So what did you do to get comfortable at night? Did you put pine needles underneath you or brush or anything?
I would dig out a hip hole, but say if bugs were biting me, I had no head net or anything, so I felt that I was less bothered than other hikers. Anyway, there was a lot of bugs in Oregon and Washington, and I just faced them. I didn't use any. I had permethrin on my clothing, and I also used a form of swatting and a long hat to protect certain areas. But besides that, it was just out there in the elements.
Wow, man. Wow.
That's crazy. Moving that fast. So how many calories did you have to intake while you were moving that fast trying to get this done?
I was shooting for 4,000 a day. It was hard to get that many in.
That you're eating while you're hiking, right?
Yes, if you're not puking, you can eat more.
Okay.
So that's kind of the idea, and you can
Good
pack
strategy.
more food if you're eating.
Okay. Life tip
That's
there. If you're not puking, you can eat more. That's
my
good right
that's
there.
my life goal right there. If I'm not puking, I'm eating.
Yes.
I don't want to puke, but I definitely want to eat more.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. So you didn't see, basically you described all the gear you had. Then in addition to that, you had your water and you had your food with you, and that was it. And you had it in like a $15 Amazon day pack, one of those ultralight packs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did that
is-
Amazon pack hold up for you through the trip?
It held up part of the way. I actually wanted to go lighter. I got rid of that pack for a 12-liter Solomon running vest near Oregon, and it had no capacity for food.
Okay.
So I was shoving food, like holding it in my mouth while leaving towns, doing crazy things to get more food.
That's crazy.
Like was it like strapped to your chest with the harness there, like underneath the vest part?
Shirt pockets, and I would put it up against my back between my pack, and then carry it for like 5 miles before I would be able to like consume it, like get hungry enough to eat it.
Yeah, you want to go lighter,
So
man? Just bring grocery bags. Like you just carry the bags. They're ultralight.
Yes, that's a great. I did that one time on a resupply. I carried 2 grocery bags like a mile on trail too. Those are trail miles. So that is a strategy. The next gen hiker, no pack, has just 2 grocery bags, and it's like you're bringing mom's groceries home. I was hiking home on the Pacific Crest Trail where I was carrying 3 pounds through Oregon and Washington. I started at the Canadian border with my dad and carried that 2.67 pound base weight through Washington and Oregon and into Northern California where I encountered fires. And I was hiking home was the intention.
Did you get people are obviously, they're going to be encountering you pretty far from trailheads. They're going to be encountering you like out in the wilderness. Were people generally impressed with what you were doing, or did you get called kind of like foolish?
A lot of people were concerned,
Okay.
or they were patting me on the back saying, keep up the great work and just hope I don't have to, read about you.
Yeah. That's what I would worry about. So what were your parents thinking? Were they worried about you at all?
Oh, my parents were worried sick. I didn't tell them how light I was packing because it wouldn't have been responsible of me to have them worry so much.
Right. Okay. Interesting. All right. So so it sounds like you made it pretty far, at least on the Pacific Crest Trail, but your goal wasn't just the Pacific Crest Trail. Your goal was the calendar year Triple Crown. So, all right, give
That's
it to
right.
us. Overall, was this a successful adventure? Did you achieve your goal? If not, how far did you get? Where do we end up here?
I hiked 5,000 miles and learned that I was a confident hiker and a strong hiker. I didn't believe in my abilities until I conquered my inner trails, and I was able to figure out I needed what was in my head and in my hands to be out there on trail. I was able to figure out that with the help of others and the people that I could call upon in a bad situation, or other people on the trail, could get out of a horrible situation. What I'm fortunate of is nothing bad happened. Would I recommend this base weight? No, because I did not complete my calendar year Triple Crown. I hiked 5,000 miles and I was able to lower my base weight because of everything I learned over 10 months of hiking on the Continental, Pacific Crest, and Appalachian trails.
Right. So, okay. So, and I don't have the mental math going on right here. Mike, maybe you do, but what's the total mileage had you completed it?
It's about 6,800 to 8,400. So that's the range. You could do it depending on your CDT route.
Okay.
Wow.
I go for the 6,400 version personally, but that's just me.
Yes.
Yeah. So you said inside you had to deal with some stuff. Is that did you have some stuff that you worked out internally inside when you were on the trail? When you said that you had to work something out on the trail?
Well, I had to figure out. Yes, I did a lot of growing out there on the trail. I was fortunate to have my dad's Marine buddies help me out on certain sections that were critical. I had an infected toe in Virginia that I hiked on the infected toe all the way to Katahdin in Maine, and I was able to get the help to heal those 2 days off in Virginia, save my hike. And when I got home to start the Pacific Crest Trail in Canada, I was blessed by my friend and doctor, my doctor, my physician, and I was able to get chacos recommended to me. These chacos took me from the Canadian border into California because my toe was no longer bumping into the side of my shoe and hurting my ingrown toe.
You walked through Washington, Oregon, and most of California in chacos?
Yes.
That is insane to me.
I hiked in chacos.
Good thing it was like a low snow year in California, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right.
You should basically, you got snow like covering your feet, I imagine, in certain spots, right?
Right.
Yes, yeah. In certain spots, luckily I didn't encounter much snow. Mostly on the AT, I encountered snow. Some on the CDT, of course, but I did hike in great conditions, which allowed for less clothing and extra gear for the harsh conditions. Gotcha. I didn't have a rain jacket, a sleeping bag, a sleeping pad, but I would do a few things differently.
I know folks, and I try not to go backpacking with these folks, but any sort of adversity, anything, like just, like stomach's not feeling great, they're not 100%, like they bail on the trip like that, any adversity. So the fact you can hike that far with an infected toe and then just try to work your wisdom or get the wisdom of others to figure out how to deal with that. That's impressive. So well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
So Sam, with all three of the trails, which one did you enjoy the most? I'm sure they all had their own separate individual beauties, but which one did you really enjoy the most?
The Appalachian Trail.
Really?
Interesting.
Yes. It
What
was
was it?
really hard, and I didn't think I would do it. I didn't think I'd complete the trail, and because I did, that was why I was so proud of it,
Wow.
getting to the end.
Right. Interesting.
Is the Appalachian Trail rated harder than the PCT?
On trail, yes,
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's shorter,
even
but
though it's shorter.
it's got like from what I understand, they don't grade their trails up mountains. They just go straight up the mountain, so it's like a lot of steep ups and steep downs.
oh, it's like the GDT that we did in July,
Yeah,
huh? Straight up and
correct.
down.
Oh, yeah, you guys did the Great Divide Trail.
No, we
way.
didn't.
we
No,
did-
no,
we did a
don't. When
section.
people,
Yeah, don't.
when Mike says stuff like that, it implies that we actually completed the whole trail. We did a very small section of it. So
We did.
yeah, sorry.
You
Sorry
were
for
on
missing it.
You were on the CD. You were on the Divide Trail. That's great.
Yeah, it was. If you call it a trail.
Yeah, those straight
Yeah.
up and downs. I don't care
Straight up
for
and
them
downs,
very much,
correct.
but
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So if you were to attempt this again, what would you do different? Would you bring more? Would you bring less? Would you bring something that you're missing, or what would be your new strategy?
I would use more gear that I already had and plan further in advance. So instead of taking 1 month to think about doing the calendar year Triple Crown and going off and doing it, I would think about hiking one trail for 6 months and then get a permit and then think about another 6 months and then go hike the trail.
Okay.
And that learning process of taking the time to absorb the trail, the issue and the problem with the calendar year Triple Crown is it's not a smelling the roses situation.
Right.
I think
correct.
if I had if I had done less smelling of the roses and more hiking, perhaps I would have finished. But my enjoyment in the trails was lightening up my pack,
Okay.
and that's what I took away at the end of the day. It was a stronger mind and a lighter pack.
Gotcha. So but part of the poll, it sounds like, was you want to do something that a lot of people haven't done. So if you're not going to go after the calendar year Triple Crown again, are you going to try to walk on the moon?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll be first in line. Yes, of course.
All right.
I'll
Yeah,
3D print a rocket ship.
After the
I'm not
show,
kidding, the
I'll
way
give
that-
you Elon Musk's number, and you can
yeah,
contact
the
him
way
about
things
that.
are working, you're going to be seeing people on the
Fantastic.
moon and at Mars in your lifetime for sure.
That's
Oh
right.
man, I
That's
should
right.
apply to SpaceX and get in one of their rockets and see if I
There
can
you go.
become an astronaut.
See if you can do
That's
it.
right. All right, Mike. You got anything else?
So hiking at night, though, I like where you're talking about stopping and smelling the roses on the trail, because I get after Carl all the time because he hikes so quickly. So what kind of mileage were you doing on the trail? Like, what was your speed and what kind of miles were you
That's a
doing
good
on the
question.
trail?
Great question. I was trying to do marathons, and on the Pacific Crest Trail, I was trying to do 30 to 35 a day. On the CDT, I was trying to do 35s.
Okay.
Wow,
Wow.
jeez,
Marathons to 35 miles a day. Okay.
that was a quick pace. Jeez,
Yeah, for
impressive,
sure.
my friend.
Did
Impressive.
you ever? I mean, if you're getting up in the middle of the night, I imagine like sometimes it'll be like night after night in between resupplies. Do you ever run out of like headlamp battery?
Yeah, in certain sections, you'd run out of headlamp battery. My buddy Desert Jesus ran out of headlamp battery and hiked all of Oregon with no headlamp this year.
Just looking closely at the ground and the roots and the rocks and all that stuff.
And a lot of tripping.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of falling down.
I've
Okay.
done Sad Valley to Callahan's, and that's pretty intense up there. I couldn't imagine doing it without a headlamp.
Yeah,
Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know how he did it. It's pretty crazy.
right.
That is crazy.
That's okay. Well, hey, Sam, seriously, man, this is so impressed with what you did, and I know that you're probably going to get some judgment from the backpacking community as people continue to find out about you. But like, I love people that take calculated, adventurous risks. I think life's too short. Just get after it. So well done, my friend. If there's I know you're on Instagram. I'm not sure if you're looking to kind of build your following, but if so, feel free to share how people can find you and what you got going on.
You can follow me at Shade Hikes on Instagram, and it'd be a pleasure to speak with you because I'm so interested in backpacking. I want to do this together with other backpackers that are interested in making this community stronger and growing it.
Well said. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Love it.
All right. Well, Sam, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Carl. Tupperware Mike. It was great meeting you.
It was great meeting you too, my friend. Good luck.
All right, we got 3-pound base weight, 5,000 miles of travel, digging a hole for his hip to have at least a little bit of comfort at night. Like, reaction, what you got?
Is this the Michael Jordan of backpacking right now? Is it? I feel like I want to. He got the. What was it? The intel about people on the moon, the number of people on the moon, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, this could
There's
be
more people that have done that than have done. He didn't. Well, he didn't succeed. He didn't make the Triple Crown, so he's not in the select company yet. Right?
I feel like Shade needs to come up with some catchy tagline like Neil Armstrong did. He's like the Neil Armstrong of the trail.
Okay.
You know, one small step for Carl is 5,000 for the rest of us. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know.
That's actually a compliment. I don't know if you thought that.
Oh wait, I gotta get that backwards. One, yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, it's phenomenal. Like, and the fact that look, if I didn't have a sleeping bag and all the things to keep warm, like we're babies with the cold. Like my first thought is not like, well, I've slept in a bivy sack, but if I'm cold, I'm gonna be like, I don't want to get up and start walking at 4 a.m.
Right.
And just be like dead tired. I don't know. I mean, kudos to him though. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so this is a controversial thought here because obviously he's leaving a lot of items that people would say are essential at home. He's not bringing them. He doesn't have them. He does have his inReach, so he does have a safety net, but that's not necessarily an immediate thing. And so he's taking, he would call it calculated risk, but he's putting himself potentially in danger. And so I think some people are kind of the, like the attaboy attitude, and some people are like, that is not smart. Where do you stand with that?
I mean, he knows himself better than we do. I mean,
he's 21 though, so I mean,
he's 21.
He's still young.
He's still young. I mean, objectively speaking, yeah, it's more risky to not bring some of those things, I would say. You're risking like maybe possible hypothermia and all these other things if you don't stay warm to a degree. How many clothes did he bring? How many changes of clothes?
Yeah, we didn't cover the specifics of that.
The food, right? So, I mean, if he's eating enough and he's moving, and some people just have more energy than other people. Clearly, he's got a lot. So, I mean, again, I think if he's willing to, and he understands, like, yeah, I'm risking a lot by not bringing a bunch of the stuff. Like, if it rains a bunch and I have no tent, I guess we're just gonna wing it, right? So, I think in that regard, I think the biggest risk to me would be fatigue. Like, if you're not getting enough sleep and you're going all those miles, delirium. So that's
you're breaking it down. You're breaking it down, Derek. But in the end, you've got to decide. He's telling you this is what I'm going to do. Would you say I support you, or you may want to think twice about that?
If I knew him,
and
I'm like, oh, this guy pulls all nighters all the time. Then
it's true. We don't have the background. You're right.
Then I'll be like, yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I would say have like your emergency contact out, but clearly this is, and he's the kind of guy clearly is like, once he gets his mind around it, he's going to do it anyway. Like he's going for it. So in that case, yeah, I would support and just try to be there. But
knowing this wasn't his first backpacking trip, because a lot of people will start long trails and it's like their first trip, and then they it's like a disaster zone. So knowing it wasn't his first backpacking trip, I actually am in full support of I would call it a calculated risk. He had a strategy. He had his strategy down. I'm not saying that a bad thing couldn't have happened, like a freak snowstorm, whatever you want to say. Like that, just stuff can happen. You can take a fall. Like there's lots of different ways to die when you're outside. But I like the calculated risk. I'm not the person who's shaking the finger. So especially when you're that young, I don't know. I felt like, and I probably still feel like I've got something to prove. And so I would have been highly motivated. And I think when people feel like they have something to prove, especially when they're a young adult, that motivation can comfort them over a lot of ailments, such as not sleeping well, or such as not having a nice place to sleep ever, or having to nap during the day. Right.
Well, just the fact that like fewer people have done this and walked on the moon.
Yeah.
If I have that in my head, like that's a pretty huge compliment. Yeah. Absolutely. And if I'm 21, I'll be like, I could see you doing that if you're 21 and you know. Yeah.
I was, but I also live life like very structured. So the thought of taking time off, you really have to take like 2 years off of college to do that. If I were to do that, and to do that, like I don't know, like that would have been tough for me to do.
Yeah. It's a commitment.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know where he stands with all that, but anyway, I found it impressive. So I'm surprised. Were you surprised he didn't get more pushback when he was actually out on the trail? He's miles from civilization. Surely people had conversations with him like, hey, are you day hiking? Like you're pretty far for a day hiker. Oh no, I'm just hiking the Pacific Crest Trail.
And then you see his equipment.
Like with backpack? Like really?
I'm sure people, I mean, I'm kind of surprised. Yeah. I mean,
I thought you'd get more pushback, to be honest.
Would you have pushed back in our age? I could see like older people pushing back. I don't know. Would you push back? Would you
No,
be
I
like,
mean,
"Yo."
I would have been like, hey, I know you want to keep going, but this is amazing what you're doing. And I would have probably tried to interview him on the spot, to be honest.
It's fair.
Yeah. Wouldn't you?
Let's get the podcast out.
You know what you'd have done? You've been like, Carl, is this the trip where we said we're going to bring our scale? Let's weigh his pack right now.
Oh, the legend weigh in right there.
On the spot trail pack weigh.
8 pounds. That's all
With
I
the
had.
food,
Probably.
yeah, it's got to be under 10, right?
That's like nothing.
Yeah.
He must have just been flying.
I mean, 30 plus miles a day. Yeah. So
just flying.
He's got the youth for the recovery. I don't know. I thought his story was impressive. And also what surprised me was I thought Backpacker Magazine was done, but I guess they're online now. And so that came out on like a Backpacker Magazine website, I guess. And that's where
Wow.
Doug from California.
Kudos to Shade. There's no shade to throw at you after this accomplishment for sure. So nice
Doug
job.
from California turned me onto the story. And so Doug, thank you so much. Cause this was definitely an interesting story. So
yeah.
All right. 3 pound base weight. There you go. There's your standard for the next trip, Derek.
That's the name of the movie coming out. 3 pound base weight.
That's right.
Right there.
That's
the
right.
Shade Man. The man of
Shade.
Shade.
Okay. Speaking of 3 pounds, I got 3 pound trivia coming up right after this.
Okay.
All right. So Derek, this is all multiple choice.
Ooh.
It's all about 3 pounds.
Oh.
Okay. 3 pounds. You had to know I was going to do this. You had to know it's going to be something about 3 pounds, right?
Locked in. Here we go.
I think you're going to fail this trivia. I'll be honest.
Because you rigged it. Because you want me to fail this year. Because you're bitter about last year.
One question you should straight up know the answer to without even needing multiple choice.
I do the same thing to you and say these same things to you,
Yeah.
and then you get all you like last time. You got, oh, you say this all the time. I should know.
and I got it wrong because I didn't know
ridiculous.
the answer. I was close though.
And it makes me feel more stupid. Like, God, I guess I should have had that right. Should I have got that right?
Well, there's one that you should know. The other one, like
Let's
that being said, my wife didn't know the answer to that one, so maybe not. The other ones, one you can definitely process through. If you really think through it and know your stuff, and you're a good processor, you got a good chance on that one. The other one, you should just know better that I was going to ask this question. So I'll just say that.
All right.
Number 1, which of the following weighs about 3 pounds?
Oh, geez.
A half gallon of water. B, a deck of cards. C, the Big Agnes copper spur 4-person tent that we bring.
Oh, jeez.
D, Mr. Peebles, the world's smallest cat. That is a real cat, by the way.
I'm going to say no to Peebles.
Okay.
I'm going to say no to the deck of cards. It's either the tent or was it the half gallon of water?
Yeah.
I think a gallon's about 4 pounds. I want to say 5 pounds. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember my water.
You're going to get this one wrong. If you don't know how much water weighs, this is rough. It's a
Mm.
common thing to know as a backpacking person, let alone a podcast host, my friend.
Don't give me the guilt.
I'm not guilty. I'm just scolding you.
Okay, a half gallon of water is around. No, it's more than that. It's like 8 pounds, 9 pounds, 7 pounds. So it's got to be the tent.
All right.
10.
So you're on 10?
10.
All right. That of all the items, that was the second heaviest. That tent weighs about 6 to 7 pounds.
I thought it was like 3 or 4.
Not even close. A 4-person tent, man, not even close. Man. Yeah, it's massive. Water, you got it. You actually did figure out water, so impressive. So I give you kudos
Water
there.
was too heavy.
Water
Is it the cat?
Yeah, it's the cat. It's
That
the
I
cat.
had no idea?
Peebles, Mr. Peebles, the world's smallest cat. Yeah,
The world's
because water weighs 8 pounds to the gallon, so that's 4 pounds.
Yeah.
So that was close. And so you just, I guess basically you had to know how much our tent weighs. But I guess maybe not, since you don't ever stick and carry it or help out in that area, then maybe that was unreasonable. I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm carrying other heavy things for you.
No, you're
Okay.
not. You put it by pack. You don't carry other things. What are you talking
I
about?
think you put it in there and like get that mad. You're like, I'll carry it, and then you get mad that like nobody else offered to carry
I'm
it.
not mad.
Like, I'll carry it, and then like, nobody wanted to carry it.
You literally we brought a drone last year. That was your only group gear. You brought the drone and you shoved it in my pack on day 2, halfway through day 2.
And and the battery pack itself is like 2 pounds.
Yeah. So
You're welcome.
I was carrying 4 pounds worth of group gear, up to 6 pounds.
I carry the weight of your bad jokes the whole trip.
So
That's
this
at
is
least 20
deflecting.
pounds.
You're deflecting. Number 2, 3 pounds
There we
is
go.
how many ounces?
Oh, that's what? 16 times 3?
A 48, B
48.
32,
48.
C 16, D 3.
48.
See, that's what I knew that you should know. That's good. That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Simple math.
But this is the hardest one. It's down.
Is that
to
like
this
an
one.
insult? Like if I didn't get that?
No,
Very
my wife
good.
didn't get that one. She didn't get it.
What?
Not everybody knows how many ounces are in a pound. Backpackers usually do, though.
Grams. Well, if you said grams, I would have had a problem.
Okay, I'm not going to say grams. I'm definitely not
Hallelujah.
saying grams.
Okay.
Number 3. 3 pounds is about how many kilograms?
I refuse to answer.
A, 1.4.
Wait, you're actually doing this?
Yes, I have this. This is legit the third question.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't want grams, so I did kilograms. A, 1.4, B, 2, C, 6, D, 3.
Wait. 3 pounds is how many Wait, do it again. One more time.
A, 1.4,
1.4.
B, 2, C, 6, D, 3.
It's not 6. It's not 3. Don't be stupid.
I know, that's why.
It's gotta be I'm calculating.
I love it.
It's gotta be like 1.3 something. So if you round up, it's 1.4.
So you're going
1.4. Yeah.
Correct. You got
Yes!
it. You did it. You passed it. I thought for sure you were gonna pass trivia on this one.
You gave me
Oh
like
my
math
gosh.
stuff, so it's probably
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Let's
so
check.
funny.
What is it? What is it actually? Let me see.
I was like, yeah, it's like about 1.4.
It's 1.36.
So how do you know that and you don't know grams? How do you know kilograms, not grams?
Because I was just helping my kid with math, and I think they're talking
divide.
about that.
Just okay. If that's
got
the
lucky.
case, I'm
I
gonna
got
start
lucky with
throwing
that one.
gram questions back at you.
No, let's not do the grams,
All right.
please.
All right.
Love.
Okay. I got talking about
Tidbits?
that. Yeah, I got talking about that pack weighing video. That was my only tidbit. So I'm actually I don't have any tidbits this time.
No
I guess I
tidbits?
could say if you want some bribery stickers, we got some Backpacking Busher stickers. I'll send them to you immediately. Just leave a review on our Apple Podcast app. We would love that. Or join Patreon. Like we'll throw them at you. We would, if you're looking for more content, if you're looking for more Derek time, you're looking for bonus episodes, ad-free episodes, all the good stuff, Patreon trips, please consider.
All right. That sounds good.
I got.
We'll see you next time, guys. Remember, if you need to, well, I guess hike a long way. Remember, Carl is probably the George Costanza from Seinfeld of hiking. He just can barely make it out of the parking lot before he starts acting like something's wrong with him. And there's always one of those. You're always on that trip, dude. It's a fight I'll never. It's a fight I'll never have to stop fighting because I love you. I don't know where I'm going with that, but that's the reality of what I'm in.
Best closing ever.
Best closing ever. Adios.